understand what I'm about to tell you, you need to do something first. You need to believe in the impossible. Can you do that?
What do you desire that you can't have?
Now you should at least give a brother a moment to say something heroically clever.
You have failed this city.
Jesus, what kind of a preacher are you?
There's about a dozen ways that I could stop you right now. But I don't think I have to.
You're the boy from the circus.
I started up a security firm.
Finally, a superhero team I can actually get behind.
In the future, my friends may not be heroes, but if we succeed, they will be remembered as legends.
Welcome to the DC TV report for the week ending Saturday, September 7th, 2019. I'm Little Eddie O'Hare.
And I'm Sara Netzley, academic by day, writer by night.
We're here to bring you recaps, news, and commentary for all live-action television shows based on DC Comics.
And we have 2 new episodes this week, one of them a series premiere.
Season premiere.
Season premiere.
Yes, we're all getting mixed up because we changed the opening just to
it threw me off so much.
I'm sorry. I literally about 3 minutes before we hooked up to start prepping to record, I decided to change my Twitter handle.
I am thrown off. Up is down, left is right.
So Edward O'Hare TBD has served me well for a while, but I think I'm going to go through a little bit of a rebrand, and I'm just going to be Lil Eddie O'Hare.
So explain to us how you came to this decision.
Well, there's been something I've been trying to get off the ground for a while that may or may not be starting this week. Don't want to get people excited.
People get hype.
and yeah, the kind of like a running joke in my family is that there are 4 Edward O'Hares, and I'm the little one. Because I'm the youngest. So that's sort of like whenever I'm at family gatherings, my uncle and my grandpa, who both are also named Eddie, are always there, and I'm always referred to as Little Eddie. So that's where the nickname came from. And I don't know. I want to try something fresh. I want to try to have a little bit more positive outlook on life, and especially in the pop culture and sports that I participate in. And
so does that mean that your nickname has been determined? Like, is this mission accomplished?
I guess, yeah. You could say that.
I mean, celebrate that. Well,
I mean, it's been determined by me, so I don't know if that really counts, but sure.
But it came from cues in your life, so I think it counts. It does count.
Okay. Yeah.
And I took the opportunity to, while Ed was changing his, drop freelance on mine because, I'm still doing the freelance writing thing for EW. I'll be back this fall, recapping NCIS for sure. Yay. But I'm also doing some fiction writing, some romance writing. So, I'm just not just freelance writing, I'm just writer by night, which if I can get pedantic about it, like academics do a lot of writing too. So, by day I'm still writing, but by night I'm not grading, I'm writing. By day I'm academic stuff grading. So anyway, it was weird. It threw off the vibe, but I like it. Let's embrace it. Let's lead into the chaos.
Yes. And just also thanks for all the support that people have shown us. Notice we haven't been getting that many responses. I've been waiting for an email for a while from somebody. If you want to email us, it's dctv@wickedtheory.com. You can also follow the show on Twitter @DCTVReport. If you're really liking the show, or any of the other shows from Wicked Theory Studios, like Preacher vs. Preacher, which I was on this past week. I think Sara, you're going to be on next week.
That is the rumor.
Yes. Or the Wicked Theory podcast, which I think is also in a state of revamp right now. Wicked Theory does have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/Wicked Theory. And, if you just want to help with our overhead costs, just to make things a little easier, because a lot of this does come from our executive producer Bill Sweeney. Just as little as $1 a month, or whatever you could spare is will be gladly helped. But also for that $1 a month, you can unlock a very special podcast that's coming out every 2 weeks, which is Ed Bonds with Bill. Where I sit Bill down and force him to watch. It's not really forcing; he enjoys it for the most part. A James Bond film, and then we talk about it. This past episode, we talked about The Man with the Golden Gun, starring Roger Moore. So,
and when is your next one scheduled for?
Next weekend.
Awesome.
So yeah, go check that out. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun doing it, and Patreon always helps. Cool. Yeah. Sarah, you want to just dive right into the recaps? You want to?
I think we should. We've confused the people with new names. We've explained it. Let's talk about some shows.
Yeah, let's get into some shows. So first up is Preacher, Season 4, Episode 6, The Lost Apostle. Dog rewatched a VHS tape of Abraham's Test in his trailer while playing with models of Jesse. Jesse wandered through the outback with the Saint of Killers, arguing about whether God deserved to die. Cassidy and Tulip landed in Melbourne and posed as American cops looking for Jesse. Hare's Star was bored with the apocalypse negotiations and started Phase 2, Escalate. Last minute reveal, after falling out of a plane, Jesse's body lay in the middle of the outback with his eyes open.
Well, Jesse's dead. Show's over. It is interesting to me that they opened this season in media res with that part, right? And we've caught up to it now at a weird point in the season. I don't know. Ed, I'm still struggling with this season.
Wow.
I'm trying. I know. I want to love this show.
Well,
there were parts of this episode I liked a lot.
I was gonna say, this is the one that I feel like has been most like the books. In terms of you see Jesse and the Saint of Killers are sort of kind of coming to an understanding of each other. Hairstar unleashed everything. You basically had the Monument Valley scene, except it takes place in Australia, and and Cassidy and Tulip finally caught up with Jesse, just long enough to for him to fall out of the plane.
Maybe it's my trepidation at guessing what's coming with Cass and Tulip. I don't know, but I super loved the American Cops. That was a lot of fun.
Yes.
For Cass's accent alone.
Yes, watching Cassidy try at an American accent is always fun. What I thought was even more fun was the thick Australian accents that were like so heavy I needed subtitles. Like, that was
Can you explain to me why it feels worse when the Australians are getting shot and killed than it did when anybody else on this show? Why does the Australia death make me sadder? What's wrong with me? Why am I broken?
I don't know. I mean, they're innocent bystanders, and
I mean, everybody is, but I don't know. There's something about they're just every Australian on the show is so happy and helpful that it's just like, oh.
Yeah, and most of the characters on this show are jerks.
Yeah, accurate. So let's talk about Cassidy reads that letter Jesse left for Tulip. Straight up says to her face, it's not going to help. Jesse says, did she read the letter? And Cass is like, she didn't. Cass, I don't think he did a very good thing there, and I think he knows it.
Yeah, yeah. Is that barbecue getting upset at Cassidy in the background?
That really is.
Oh.
Friends, I'm recording in a different spot today because we have dudes rebuilding our chimney and it is loud. They're like a jackhammering up there. So I'm in the closet. I can't keep the cats out. And that is barbecue saying, I would like to be famous. Make me famous. Put me on the radio.
Yeah. Cassidy. Well, again, I think this is getting a little closer to him in the books, because in the books he's a huge jerk.
Yeah, I don't like it. This is the one part of the books I don't need. I don't like Cassidy in the books. He's so awful.
Yeah, we're coming to the home stretch. We got 4 episodes left, and we're gonna see how this plays out. Yeah, and the real moment. Jesse. He uses the word to make Cassidy let him go, but he doesn't use the word to make Cassidy tell Tulip he loves her.
Yeah. Does Jesse not think he needs to? Does Jesse not? Does it not occur to him that he would have to compel Cass to do that?
Probably. He thinks Cass is a good friend, and Cass is, deep in the bottom, he's selfish. Yeah, and I think that's kind of his fatal flaw.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying this version. I also really like the blonde hair.
Yeah, you like the tips? You like the
I like it. The frosted tips, the cool guy tips.
Yeah, I haven't seen those since like the early aughts. That was like a 2002 thing, right? Where you just get like the frosted tips. Right. So dog in the trailer.
At what point did you figure out what that story was?
Oh, I knew right away. Right away.
Same.
Yeah, and first off, seeing Abraham and Sara bicker like Ralph Cramden and Alice. I thought that was to die for, and like I hope that's exactly what happened in reality.
Well, I mean, they were older parents, were they not? So they're going to be like, I don't have time or energy for this.
Yes,
quit it.
That's right. I think they were. I think they were in their like 90s or something when they had
I
Isaac.
believe so.
Yeah,
I believe so.
yeah. That's all the good 14 years of Catholic school did me.
I had 14 years of Lutheran schooling and same-seas.
Yes, yeah. You memorized that Bible back and forth, or at least the stories out of it. But it was interesting to see that take, and to see a guy looking back on his home movies. First off, that he has all of that on VHS. I'd love to dig deeper in, or try to work that TV. See if there's any other cool things.
I wouldn't have minded episodes opening with God's greatest VHS hits. That would have been kind of funny. Like this season.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of all the major storylines. Oh, Hairstar. Hairstar was so happy, so cocksure. Okay, I'm finally gonna corner Jesse and get my revenge. And what was it exactly that he wanted to do to Jesse? I know it had something to do with the vagina.
No, Ed, he wants to carve a vagina in Jesse's head. He's only said it every episode of the season.
Yeah, you're not so jazzed for that. You're not so.
Oh my.
Well,
I mean, I get it. I mean, Hairstar's walking around with everything he's walking around with. I get it. He just wants his beauty back. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but I think it ends up getting worse. When he finally admits to Dog that he's lost Humperdew. Dog sticks a dingo on him, and the dingo really chews up his Star's
The
nutsack.
dingo eats his babies.
Yes. 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 Yeah. Hair Star cannot catch a break. Did you want any more of the negotiations between Hitler and Jesus?
Actually, yeah. I am surprised to say this because I normally don't want to spend a ton of time with Hitler, but I liked the soul negotiations. That was that aspect of this tete-a-tete makes sense to me in terms of the Armageddon. That was kind of cool. I also super loved their names on the Starbucks cups. Jesus, Hitler. And some barista didn't even bat an eye. Yeah, sure.
Well, we saw who that barista was. Do you remember walking past and seeing Featherstone at the coffee shop?
Okay.
With that fake beard?
They panned, and honestly, I didn't recognize her as Featherstone. I knew it was somebody we were supposed to recognize, but I was just like, no, I don't. I got nothing.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
She was posing as the hipster barista with the full Jesus beard.
Get that paycheck, Julianne.
Yeah.
Oh, I also, going back to Cass as the cop, talking about how he got tatted up to go undercover. Oh, God. It was so perfect. So is the Eugene storyline done, do you think? Like, has he served his purpose? Are we going to see him recede to the background?
I mean, I would I would just like him to get a happy ending. I don't know how they're going to do that. But I would.
I mean, I know how they did it in the comic. I don't see how they're going to do it here.
Well, I mean, we'll see how these next couple episodes play out. You might get some version of that, but I would like to at least see one more appearance just to kind of wrap things up with him.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying I want him to go away forever. Not at all. I'm curious. We're moving to kind of bigger and bigger stories, and in some ways Eugene has. I don't know. Maybe there's going to be some more forgiveness or. Yeah. So, Preacher.
Yeah. Cool. Anything more that we haven't touched on yet? We didn't really talk that much about Tulip.
She can fly a plane.
Yes, she could fly a plane, evidently. And she was not talking to Jesse. And do you think she'll regret that?
I do think she's going to regret that. I mean, if you are giving the cold shoulder to your on again, off again, whatever, and he falls out of a plane, not good. It's not good. That's a recipe for guilt.
All right. Was there any news for Preacher?
No news. No news. Just, look for me on Preacher versus Preacher this coming week.
There we go. And on to our second episode for this week. Titans Season 2 premiere. Trigon. Rachel and Gar tried to hide from Trigon after he possessed Dick. The other heroes were each thrown into their own nightmares and turned into Trigon minions. Slade Wilson moved out of his backwoods cabin after seeing a news story on the Titans' return. Last minute reveal, the Titans enjoyed the view from their new headquarters in San Francisco.
This was a great episode.
Yes, it was an amazing season finale.
Agreed. What a perfect capper to season 1. What a great way to end the season and keep us waiting in the hiatus for what's going to happen in season 2. Oh, wait, is that not what happened?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about how what an odd note, and I feel we know they filmed 2 more episodes. I'm wondering what happened because this like the first 2/3 of this definitely felt like a finale, and then the rest of it felt like set up for the rest of the season. So I'm wondering if just like those last 2 episodes that they shot were a mess. So they just figured, okay, let's just clean this up and introduce the new season 2 characters.
It's just all the Trigon momentum, he's disapparated back to his own plane or whatever. You just lose all of that when he's come and gone in the premiere like this. that this was not the last season of or episode of season 1 blows my mind. I'm still thinking about it 24 hours later. Like, why is this not? I don't mean to criticize. I really enjoyed this episode a lot. This was a lot of fun, but it just, everything about it screamed this should have been tacked on. The only thing I can think, is that they hadn't cast Bruce yet. Maybe? Had they cast Bruce at that point? But they didn't have to show him. You didn't have to have a Bruce appearance. You could have him on the other end of the phone or something like that. You could have done it without him, but that was the only thing I could think.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Bruce and the Deathstroke castings, the Slade Wilson castings, those all came out afterwards.
Oh, right. I forgot about Slade Wilson. How could I forget?
Yeah. So all of that was tacked on. I thought it was very interesting. We got to see Trigon fully formed. I thought the effects for that were pretty good. And what's weird is, like, the way they build the tension here, it was almost like insurmountable. We're like, oh my God, how are they going to get out of this? And, Rachel actually gets out of it and defeats her dad so quickly that it almost felt a little anticlimactic.
Agreed. That's why, again, it's the momentum thing. I feel like if we had been watching some Trigon episodes leading up to it and this was the culmination, okay, maybe. But the fact that, we come back after this time off and we have Trigon for like 40 minutes and then he's gone. I don't know. I agree. It was a little fast and she came to her powers really quickly. But I am happy with what they set up and I'm happy with where they ended up. So I'm not going to quibble too much.
Yeah. I just wish that the actual showdown was like longer than 2 minutes.
Yeah, or that she had struggled a little more once she had the gem, or that we saw her struggling with the gem. Some work to master that and to defeat him, or for him to teach her how to harness it and for her to turn that power on him. I mean, you could have done a little more with that, maybe.
Yes. Yeah. I think you could. Now turning into the individual dreams. So you had another moment where all the heroes outside of the force field walk through that portal and then get trapped in their own fantasies. So what did you think of the dream worlds for each of those characters?
I thought they were good. I thought they were cool. I love that, of course, there's losing a parent trauma, of course. The only one I didn't super love, I thought the trapeze stuff was cheesy as hell. What did you think? I get it's Dick's trauma. I get it. But, like, if I die here, I die for real. All right.
Yeah. I think it was like, okay, we need it was a case where they built it up so much and it's like, okay, we need to snap him out now. And I don't feel like they spent enough time building up to that. Like, I feel like you could have spent a whole episode of her. I mean, for the episode we spent in his head of him getting turned, you almost could have spent a whole episode of Rachel in there trying to convince Dick to basically release his hang up.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, you could have spent a little more time in all of their dreamscapes. They were interesting. They were compelling, and we know those characters well enough to understand the nuance and to like the characters and kind of want to go on that journey with them. But yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and what's weird is, I mean, just like Jason Todd, you could actually see that his nightmare was almost the same as Dick's, but from a different perspective. Whereas, Dick's dream world was him killing Bruce, and Jason's fear was Dick killing Bruce. Yeah, a lot of it's just like, is Corey gonna feel guilty now that, like, she gave into that and actually killed Rachel in that fantasy?
I do wonder if that's part of the reason that she didn't go along with them, that she needed to work some stuff out, possibly. Maybe.
Yes. Yes, and and you saw like Hawk and Dove. You know, Hank just basically gets Dove to shoot up. That's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it feels like they shared that experience, and and Donna, we got a little bit of Donna's backstory. You know, that her dad died in this apartment fire.
And there was Trigon throughout, being the ice cream guy,
Yes,
or the drug dealer, or what
Mm-hmm.
have you.
Yes, yeah. Trigon showing up. Yeah.
It's a fun reminder that they cast such an innocuous looking guy, I think, so he could sort of blend in. You know, he's just that, I mean, he's that fourth cop on the call sheet on Castle. So when he shows up in those scenarios, it's just like, yeah, sure, of course that guy's the ice cream guy.
Yeah. And what did you think of, S.I. Morales as Deathstroke? We got to see a little glimpse. We see that he's kind of been in hiding in some cabin with a chimney that lets out a huge amount of smoke. I don't know how he keeps that fire going.
Listen, did you see that beard? Anybody with that beard is going to keep a fire going really well.
Yeah, and he just shows up at the general store and sees a news item, and immediately he's back in action. He shows up at some, rich mansion and pulls out his weapons and his costume. Like Deathstroke, the Titans are back. All right, stuff's got to go down now.
Oh, I liked it very much. So obviously Manu Bennett is like my Slade Wilson because he's the one I've been watching for seasons and seasons. I like this older, you would assume a little bit more grounded, stable, settled. I'm guessing that's not going to be the case as he starts gearing up, but I don't know that for sure. I like this incarnation of him a lot. I also liked the beard acting where he went from Mountain Man beard to like ready for action beard. Love it. Good stuff.
Yeah, and it does look it looks a little bit more comic accurate. And I don't know. I mean, Deathstroke is like the best strategist in the DC universe. So we'll see. I'm interested to see where it takes. I really like the world building that they did in here, where they mentioned the Justice League and Superman several times.
Let's talk about that Superman thing. Last season, it was a lot of mentions of Bruce and Batman and Bruce and Batman. And this season, we've already have 2 casual Superman references. So I'm wondering, does that lead us to... obviously, we're leading toward Connor, of course, because we saw him at the end of last season. But, is that going to lead to Superman appearances at some point, the way it did with Bruce? Is that kind of what the show is establishing? Or I just wonder if it's going to go down the same path there.
I mean, I don't know if we'll see him. I mean, there may be... I'm interested to see if there's a scene where, like, the Titans meet the whole Justice League.
Yeah. That would be
because
amazing.
I love that they're existing in a world where all of this is already set up. We don't need to give backstories or introduce all of these characters. They could run across Oliver Queen, or the Flash, or Aquaman, or any of those guys at any time. And I just love also the idea that like Titans has already been a thing. This was a team that Dick tried to put together, and for some reason, that we don't know all the details of, it kind of fell apart. And now that he's met Gar and Rachel, and he wants to take a second crack at it.
Yeah, I bet we're going to find out what happened. That's a feeling I have that this season we're going to unravel that mystery. Hey, BT Dubs, if you're being attacked by a bunch of, like, whatever, do you not transform into a big green tiger immediately? If you're a human person getting kicked in the ribs, do you not say, "Is tiger time now"?
You know what? I think it's the kind of thing where it was happening so fast that he didn't think. He didn't have time to think.
Okay, second question. Do you not always go around as the tiger? Are you not just always the tiger?
Well, therein lies the other problem, whereas like when you stop being the tiger, you're completely naked.
So never stop being the tiger.
Maybe we'll see.
By the way, as we're watching this, I turn to Jason and say, remind me, does Jason Todd come to some kind of bad end? And I was informed that this is only the most famous bad end of all comics history. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Not well, what's even worse about that is that they provided a 1-900 number for people to call in, and the fans voted for Jason to die.
And that was in a kinder, gentler age. Imagine if you did that now. I just feel like, how much worse can it be? But we would be voting on not should he die, but like how badly, how many terrible ways. How many times can we bring him back and kill him again?
Yeah. All right. So
I haven't even consulted with my notes. I've just been talking because I enjoyed it so much. Superman name check. Yeah. R.I.P. Mom lady.
Mm-hmm.
Curse your brutal but inevitable neck snapping.
Mm-hmm.
Just in general, we covered a lot of ground. I just feel like it covered a lot of stuff. I enjoyed it. I was into it.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what San Fran's like.
Oh, so why did we not get a big T rising up into the sky?
Well, I mean, maybe we'll get that later on. Maybe they're building that out. Right now we have one floor of an apartment building.
True. A nice apartment building. That was
yes, very nice.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd live there.
All right. Cool. Was there any news for Titans?
Actually, yes. We have Entertainment Weekly had an overview with the showrunner talking about this season. They're promising heart, humor, and action. I feel like, Ed, that's our sweet spot on this podcast, isn't it? Like, we love shows that do all those things. So
yeah. Well, that's Berlanti's mantra: heart, humor, and spectacle. So yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully. Superboy, we are going to see Superboy, of course. I was a little disappointed. Oh, by the way, crypto sightings 0 this week. Boo. Superboy is not going to want to fit into the Titans team when he does join up with them. So that's going to be a source of friction that he is battling sort of genetic destiny, I guess. And he's like not an easy mix with the rest of them. So, and he, showrunner had a lot of praise for Joshua Orpin, who plays him, how naturally he fit into the role, blah, blah, blah. So that sounds really promising. And the relationship between Bruce and Dick this season, it's going to be, how do you go from father-son, mentor-mentee to more equals? So we're going to see that too, which I think sounds lovely. So yeah, there's your Titans news.
Cool. All right. Let's move on to news for other shows.
Okay, let's start with news about the CW-verse crossover. We're going to see another familiar face popping up in the crossover, and that is Mr. Jonah Hex.
Jonah Hex.
Jonathan's Cake is coming back, and I don't know how to pronounce that. Let's assume that's right. As Jonah Hex in the crossover. I, at this point, think the crossover is just going to be 5-second shots of each guest star's face for 4 nights. Like, there's so many people coming, all they can do is be like, and here's Jonah Hex, and Jonah Hex waves, and then we just go to the next guest star. How are they? There's so many people. How are they going to balance all of these people?
Well, they have 5 episodes.
Apologies. That's going to be fine then.
So, they don't all have to be there the whole time.
Or do they?
But yeah. Jonah Hex, it's a character. He's got a cool face.
He does have a cool face. Why do I associate, who played him in the movie? Was it Josh Brolin?
Yes, it was.
Okay,
it was.
that's because when I read that news first, I was like, Josh Brolin is? And then I remembered, we have a CW person. Anyway, so he's coming back. Yay.
Yay!
Moving on to Batwoman.
Batwoman music.
There's a cool new promo out that I think is probably the most useful promotional video we have seen yet. As opposed to these little snippets of action with Kate Kane, we get the sort of the story, the characters, what the world building. So we see the challenges she's facing. We get introduced to some of the folks who are going to be helping her. And it's very stylized, lots of like colorful flashes and a dark background. I really liked it. This is not that I haven't been excited all along, but this is a very anticipation building promo. So yeah, Batwoman, check it out.
Cool. Yeah, nice abstract stuff.
I'm gonna say we're gonna tweet it out from the show account, but I'm gonna forget. So, I have every intention of making Ed do that later. I just don't know if I'll remember. So
okay.
Batwoman. Supergirl. So this season, we've talked a lot about how it's going to be the Black Mirror technology season, and that the heart of the season is going to be that Kara-Lena friendship, that betrayal is going to drive a lot of it. But we're also going to be doing a deep dive into the relationships that formed Lena. Which, yes. So that might explain the news that Raul Coley is going to come back as Lena's ex-boyfriend who died in season 2. I think we're going to get some flashbacks and things like that, or maybe hallucinations, whatever, we'll see, that show the people who made Lena who she is. That sounds amazing. Also, the showrunners say in this IGN article that the crossover is going to have more effect on the Supergirl world than past crossovers have. Ooh. Ed, is that maybe because the worlds will be collapsing into, I don't know, one world, possibly?
Well, that was the whole purpose of the original Crisis.
I mean, it does make a kind of sense, does it not?
It does. Now, granted, they did have Infinite Crisis 20 years later, which reversed all of that. So, I don't know. I'm really interested to see like how this all shakes out, and how it affects shows like Supergirl and Black Lightning. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. A couple more things with Supergirl. The supervillain Akrata is coming. She is a character from the comics. She'll be played by Julie Gonzalo. But the showrunners tell us that it will be a unique take on the character, which I think at this point, the only unique take we could have is a character who completely follows the comic books. I mean, like, obviously that's not a criticism. That's fine. I get it. But of course it's going to be, you know. And lastly, congratulations to Melissa Benoist and Chris Wood, who got married this week. Marriage.
Aw.
Yeah, they looked really happy.
Congrats.
They're a cute couple. And yet again, the CW proves that it is Tinder for actors. So.
Okay.
Well, because the leads on The 100 got married not long ago. And so anyway, all right. You want to move on to The Flash?
Yeah.
All right. Ed, guess what?
What?
Journalist Iris moving to the forefront.
Ooh.
I am Jack's complete lack of interest. But she's going to be trying to grow the Citizen quickly to meet the crisis, basically. You know, you've got that reporting in the center of the crisis and the disappearance coverage and things like that. So she's going to really work on growing the Citizen, because the good Lord knows that in 2019, it's really easy to start and nurture a media, fledgling media outlet. That's not a problem at all. Nothing to be concerned about. I'm sure she'll be adept, and I will love every second of it.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. In more fun news for me, Candace Patton is going to be wearing her hair natural this season. Iris is going to have the natural curly hair that Candace Patton has. It's going to be for story reasons. It looks super duper in the photos I've seen from behind the scenes and things. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's really cool. And in Flash costume news, the chin strap is coming back for Barry.
Ooh, okay.
Do you have thoughts about the chin strap?
I don't mind the chin strap. I think it looks kind of cool.
I wonder if the actor has thoughts. I would think a chin strap would be really irritating. But, you know, what do I know?
I don't know.
That's it for The Flash. Moving on to Arrow. So apparently in season 8, Oliver is going to develop a sense of humor.
No.
I mean, better late than never. But they've talked about how the show is going to be fundamentally different with Felicity gone, and so maybe you start trying on some different Oliver personalities. I don't know. But also interestingly from this TV Line article is that Oliver learns he is not going to be allowed to do the work that the Monitor has set out for him alone. So extrapolating from that, I'm assuming Oliver does his usual, if people come with me, they'll get hurt. I need to do this alone. And he's going to find people tossed into his path to help him. And I'm guessing embrace the inevitability of, okay, I need to work with Diggle and I need to work with Laurel and I need to work with whoever. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So funny, jokey Oliver with a partner. Yay. Also, Byron Mann is coming back this season. He plays Master Archer Yao Fei Gulong from The Island. So we will see some, I guess, Master Archering.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Going back to our roots.
Indeed. And again, the showrunners point out that, you've got this short episode run and they're going to kind of do, I think it sounds like one season per episode, kind of flashback, retro perspective. So I'm looking forward to this. Okay, moving on to Black Lightning. So this season is going to move outside the confines of Freeland and the African American community and sort of tackle storylines about mental health and addiction problems plaguing people nationwide, in every community and every ethnicity. So that sounds fun.
Yeah. Really, really upbeat.
Are we gonna take on the opioid epidemic?
Well, I mean, if any show on the CW is going to try this,
100%, it's this one. Yeah,
this is the one that's best positioned to.
Yeah, and honestly, I think if of any show in the Arrowverse to do it, this is the one I feel the most comfortable doing it with. I worry that, I mean, do we remember the Arrow gun control episode? # never forget. If Arrow were trying to talk about like the mental health and addiction crisis in America, I'd be a little nervous. But Black Lightning, I don't know. I feel a little more comfortable in their ability to do it. I just doesn't sound like. But you know what? I was skeptical about Supergirl. I was worried it would be too heavy-handed last season, and I think it turned out great. So I trust Black Lightning. Take us on this ride.
Cool. Yeah. Let's see.
I'm sure Tobias Whale will talk about it while Jazz plays. It's going to be awesome. Moving on to Doom Patrol. Yeah, Doom Patrol. We haven't had Doom Patrol news in a while, and reading about it for this week, I was reminded, God, that's a good show. Anyway, this Gizmodo article talked about how almost all the members of the Doom Patrol have parent or child issues, and with Niles finding his daughter at the end of the season, it's going to sort of force a lot of that to the forefront while they reckon with this child who has sort of challenging abilities, who's lovable but also super unpredictable. So that's going to be a thing that drives the show this season. But of course, they have to get deminiaturized first.
Yes. Yeah. We gotta get big.
Yeah. Not the Tom Hanks version, but like physically.
Yes.
And then last news of the week is for Lucifer. And that is simply that the season 5 has started filming as of this past Friday. So if you're on social media, you got a lot of sort of back to school pictures with the cast, all super excited to be working together again. So it's nice. That I would say Lucifer is one of the tightest casts that we talk about. They just seem to really support each other and dig each other. Or maybe I just follow more of them on social media. I don't know. But yeah, Love Fest over at Lucifer. They're filming again. Yay.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird because like Lucifer, because it's a binge show, we get that one hit, and now it's coming once a year, and now we gotta wait for it. Like, come on.
Although I'm still holding out hope that they're going to split that final season into 2, so we can get maybe 2 hits. And maybe. I say that as the recapper and as the podcaster who almost died. Split up those episodes.
Yes. All right. And you said that was all the news for this week, right?
That's it. I think we had a slow Labor Day week this week.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. But that means now it's time for our winners of the week.
Ed, you want me to go first?
Sure.
All right. Well, listen, we're recording this on World Beard Day, Twitter tells me. And my winner of this week is the strong daddy energy coming from both the shows. Over on Preacher, you've got God, big bearded, literally daddy. And then Titans gave us not one, but two daddies. You've got Deathstroke, the kind of stern brunch daddy with the beard and the glower. And then you've got Bruce, who's, questionable murder daddy. I don't know, like daddies and beards. And also Illinois license plates. I feel like Titans had one too. I don't know why Illinois is the go-to for license plates, but daddies and beards and plates. Let's do it. My winner of the week. I'm sorry. I hope yours is better. Go.
Mine was Cassidy's burning hand. I like that image from the comics, and I like that moment here of him reaching out, trying to catch Jesse falling out of that plane, and then Jesse using the word to make him let go. I thought that was a very powerful moment.
Yeah.
I thought they hit it perfectly in the show.
Well, and again, it tells you the essential contradiction of Cass, because he's not a good guy, but he's a good guy. Show Cass, not so much comic Cass. He's just not a good guy.
All right. That's our winners of the weekend. And Sarah, we're done. We finished an episode.
Can we try our new, can we do the new vibe again? You want to introduce yourself again just one more time so we can get used to it?
I'm Lil Eddie O'Hare.
And I'm Sarah Netsley, academic and writer. Yeah, I don't know. Gotta work on that.
All right. That's the DC TV report for this week. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Lil Eddie O'Hare.
Still weird. And I'm still at Sarah Netsley, SARANETZLEY.
And follow the show on Twitter at DCTV Report. You can send along your emails to dctv@wickedtheory.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our show on your podcast app of choice and rate and review us. That helps more people find us. Check out our sister shows, the Wicked Theory Podcast and Preacher vs. Preacher. This has been a Wicked Theory Studios production. Executive producer, Bill Sweeney. Visit us at wickedtheory.com. Shazam, everybody.
Shazam.
Shazam!